It's working.
Whoa!
It's working.
That's right guys, today we are taking a look at the very unique brand new release from Team Corally. This is the Asuga XLR 6S oversized buggy. Basically the same running gear as what's in the Kronos XTR 2022 version, because it does come with all the spring steel outdrives, hardened steel differential gears and stuff, but they have definitely upsized the buggy wheels and they've redesigned the chassis and everything to suit more of a buggy style car. So I don't actually have any other 1/8 scale buggies at the moment. That's kind of why I wanted to get something like this. I've definitely been looking for a decent buggy and I'm really happy that they brought this specific car out in a rolling chassis version as well. Now as you can see, it does come in 3 color schemes. You got red, blue and green. I did go with the green. I think it looks very cool, but the blue and red also look great. Now, if you get the ready to run version, I think you get the Curon 825 2050 kV motor, the Torox 185 150 amp 4 to 6S speed control. I'm not quite sure what servo the ready to run comes with. I don't think it's this one, but they do recommend getting a 25 kilo or more. And I believe this is the radio system that you get with the ready to run, the CT2R 2-channel radio set. The other thing with this buggy is it's got a 70% parts compatibility with their existing 1/8 cars, which is absolutely awesome. But I can't wait too much longer, guys. Let's get this set up on the bench, take a look at what's new, and then we'll get a electric system, a brushless motor and speed control installed, a radio, and then get it outside and give it a test, see how it runs. You're obviously going to get a parts manual or user guide, which is always handy, especially if it's a rolling chassis. An antenna tube. We have a pinion gear, I believe it's a 13 tooth, and then you've got a couple of screws and stuff in there. I believe that'd be for the pinion gear and the motor itself. But now guys, look at the size of those wheels. So basically the first thing that stands out to me from this angle is definitely how chunky everything is. The upper and lower swing arms are both very thick. The upper swing arm has this little winglet. They look very cool. Maybe a little bit of downforce for the front end as well. We have the HD dual ball knuckle steering system. These are very strong CV style drive shafts in the front, leading to those beautiful gold bronze colored outdrives, the differential outdrives. The wheels they decided to go with are the Rebel XMS all-terrain wheels. These look pretty good. The tread is rather stiff, but I think it's going to be a good compound. It does feel rather sticky, so I think they're going to grip up pretty well. We've got massive aluminium big bore shocks. I think they're 4mm shock shafts. I'm not quite sure about these little cap things. They look pretty flimsy, pretty thin, but yeah, hopefully they do a good job of protecting the shock caps. We have super thick 5mm aluminium CNC shock towers, both front and rear, as you can see. And we got a cool little buggy front bumper on there. Should do a good job of protecting the front wheels and the front swing arms at least. Taking a look at the rear, we have a very similar setup. Super chunky swing arms, super beefy but non-adjustable tie bars up the top there. We have just got dog bones in the rear, but they look pretty thick. I think they're around about 5 or 6mm, so they should definitely do a good job. And again, into that beautiful spring steel outdrive with the hardened steel differential gears. I think the planetaries and the ring gears are both hardened steel, so they should last a long time. Again, massive aluminium shocks with the 4mm shock shafts. We got a pretty robust, pretty substantial wing mount on there. Now, a few people have mentioned the wing is rather weak. Now, I've not had a problem with the Kronos or the Dementor wings. I shouldn't have much of an issue here in Australia. It does stay pretty warm. I know temperature can affect the plastic a little bit, so hopefully it stays in one piece for, you know, quite a while. Now guys, just before we take a look under the shell, I do want to mention these very cool hinge pin braces or arm braces. Normally you would have your hinge pin brace mounted to the diff housing, but they've gone one step better and mounted them directly from the chassis from the bottom up. So that is definitely going to prevent those differential housing screws from popping out, from getting ripped out if you have a bad corner landing or something. So that is definitely going to be beneficial. Now, the very first thing you notice taking the shell off are these body retainers, little plastic pieces that will definitely prevent the shell from ripping where the body post is. Taking a look inside, we can see everything is very chunky, very beefed up, super thick, hardened steel drive shafts. The whole drivetrain is pretty much spring steel and hardened steel. We have a pretty unique and very chunky hybrid center brace system connected to some very chunky plastic pieces there. The battery bay isn't really that large, but it is adjustable, so we will be able to get some decent sized 6S batteries in there. We have a decent sized ESC tray and little on and off switch holder. Over this side we have the receiver box, the servo mounting position, and the servo saver, as you can see. And just a quick shot of the beautifully designed 3mm aluminium CNC chassis and those awesome skids. I just can't get over how chunky everything is, guys. Seriously huge. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave all the differentials and everything as they are out of the box for the first couple of runs. If I need to upgrade or modify later on down the track, I will definitely do that. But now let's get an electric speed control, a motor and radio system in there, as well as a servo. I almost forgot a servo. And then definitely take it outside and give it a proper bash test, guys. I cannot wait to have a drive of this one. I think this one's 18 tooth, so it definitely should fit, but only being 1550 kV, I'm not sure how much speed we're going to get out of this. Yeah, it looks like 19 tooth pinion gear is the biggest you can use with the stock motor mount and the stock spur gear or center diff gear. Not sure if you can see in there, guys, but the mesh is pretty good. Beautiful, that's almost perfect. Not quite going to reach. Straight down the bottom there. Nice. This is an awesome car. Alrighty guys, so we are down the paddock. I've got everything set up, got the servo and everything in the car. the motor and speed control seem to be more than enough for it. Let's see how we go. These cheap 25 kilo servos are doing a good job. Oh, there goes the steering.
Oh, smoking.
Whoa.
Smoking. Smoking.
Oh, the servo.
Yeah, I thought so.
So that's all right. At least my Dumbo RC receiver's all good, but yeah, maybe not these servos again. Absolutely trashed. Look at all that liquid in there from the capacitors and the diodes and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
At least the car's fine.
yeah, the car went really good. The servo definitely did not like this setup.